Welcome to What's Cooking in Sports with former NFL defensive end Gary Burley. Now get ready to find out what's up, what's in, and what's going down in sports with some of the biggest names on the field, on the court, and in the business. Gary, it's all yours.
Hi, welcome to What's Cooking in Sports. I'm your host, Gary Burley, and today we have a special edition. We're going to talk about the Magic City Classic. This is Classic Weekend, and our guests today are Mayor William Bell, Jay Roberson, Councilman, 7th District, Vice President of Public Relations for Alabama Power, John Hudson, and also the guy that stirs all this gumbo together, Gene Hallman. We'll be right back.
Okay, you ready? Surprise. Yeah! Wait for me.
Come on.
Yeah.
Daddy?
Yeah?
The power of yeah.
Yeah.
Brought to you in part by Alabama Power. Always on.
Waiting for something to amaze me. That's when it happened. Right in front of me.
You haven't seen it until you've seen it in Charter HD. Call now to add Charter HD for only $5 more a month and watch all your favorite programs in HD. Charter, let it all in.
Oh, what's cooking?
Welcome to this special edition of What's Cooking in Sports. Today we're going to talk about the Magic City Classic with our host, Gary Burley, me, and also our two guests, John Hudson, Vice President of Public Relations for Alabama Power, and Jay Roberson, Councilman, District 7, but also Assistant Director of Athletics at Sanford University. Welcome to the show, guys.
How you doing?
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you could be here. I'm excited. For the last 6 years that I've been in Birmingham, I've been going to the Magic City Classic, and it gets better and better every year. How does it continue to grow like it does, and what can we expect this year?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I can take it. I've been going to the Magic City Classic for 43 years.
You got me about
And I'm counting that 1 year when my mom was pregnant. So, it's a big deal. It's a big deal in our community. It not only means a lot of fun for alumni and fans of college football, but it also means economic development for our community. So many people come from all across the country to go to the nation's largest historically black college football classic. And so we are so fortunate in Birmingham to be able to play host to that in our community.
Well, John did a great job, Gary, in giving a very civil approach on the Magic City Classic. But there is no classic like the Magic City Classic. And I mean, as John has all his life been a part of this game, I have too, and a part of this tradition. I think it's tradition between these two schools, and Alabama A&M University and Alabama State. As a little boy, I was in the Grand Marshal car with my father. Not only that, I've been a part of playing in the game for 3 years, having time spent managing the actual Magic City Classic, and now serving in a governing role with the city of Birmingham with the Magic City Classic. This game here is huge in economic impact, as John mentioned. And not only that, you have people from all over the country converge on Birmingham, Alabama, as families, friends, alumni of these two HBCU institutions to have a great weekend, a great week in Birmingham. People look for this game year-round, and they will have, rival words and conversations, emails, tweets, all that good stuff about this rivalry. And as the host, you're wearing Alabama State colors today. That's okay. I won't hold that against you. But I'm wearing Alabama A&M, and you got two diehard Bulldogs who were former roommates at Alabama A&M University.
No, that's something I did not know.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Now, Jay, you mentioned that you play football, and I knew that you played at Alabama and A&M. What is the secret to Alabama A&M this year? They're 6-1, and it looks like the biggest game of the year for them, in addition to the Magic City Classic is going to be coming up with Auburn.
Well, it is. Coach Anthony Jones has done a tremendous job in formulating a good staff there at Alabama A&M University, and the team has a good chemistry. They've been very successful this season, being 6-1 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I think the one loss was against Alcorn State. Had a outside of conference game against Tuskegee in the opener here in Birmingham, Alabama. But this team has done a tremendous job. You talk about the game on down the road. I think that's one on November 17th everybody's looking forward to. But as we're talking about the Magic City Classic, I know that's the game right now that Coach Anthony Jones is focused on, and also Coach Reggie Barlow from Alabama State. But we look forward to playing an SEC opponent. That is a guarantee game for Alabama A&M University. It will be a revenue impact to the athletics department and to the university. And I know John will probably speak more about that, but we're excited about going on the plains later on in November.
Well, that sounds good. John, you mentioned the economic impact that the game is going to have on the city. Kind of elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's a huge economic impact for both universities. Prior to the Auburn game that you just mentioned, traditionally the Alabama A&M Alabama State game was the biggest revenue generator for both football programs. So both universities get revenue, which is great. The other thing that happens for the city of Birmingham, and I'm sure Councilman Roberson appreciates this, when you have all of these people converge on the city of Birmingham, well, they spend money. You know, they stay in hotels, they eat in restaurants. All of this money sort of circulates throughout our community when this happens. And so when we talk about economic impact, there's no greater event, specifically with an African American focus in the state of Alabama, that brings in the kind of revenue that the Magic City Classic does. So for that particular reason, economic impact is very, very important, not only to the universities, but to our community.
Well, I tell you, like I said, I've been going to the game for 6 years, and in 6 years, I've never seen an incident that would cause any trouble with this. Everybody comes to have a good time.
Sure.
Now, I'm going to ask both of you to think about this for just 1 second, but tell the rest of the viewing audience, what is the thing that you would suggest that they do when they come to this year's Classic? If you're trying to sell this Classic to the state or the cities or around the country, the surrounding cities, what would you tell them? What is the best part about the Classic?
Well, I think it's very interesting. I think probably starting early this week.
Yes.
You've got people who start tailgating. Okay, so you have these folks who convene and they park out at Legion Field, and if you come to the Magic City Classic, you've got to spend some time tailgating. Okay, that is such an important part of the event. You're going to have at least 65,000 folks inside the stadium, but you're going to have much more than that on the outside of the stadium having a good time. So tailgating, I would suggest that people take part in if they come to the Magic City Classic this year.
Hey, the tailgating is great because I've gone from RV to RV, and that's so much fun. But you've got parties, concerts, you've got this and that. How does everybody do everything in 1 week?
Well, you know, John talked about the tailgating, which, you know, that's symbolic with us being on What's Cooking in Sports. But if you think about that's a plug for you, Gary. You think about the entertainment and what you're talking about, the festivities, the social aspect of the game is truly tremendous as celebrities from all over the country converge on Birmingham, Alabama to entertain and be a part of a great party and weekend. So, I mean, if I had to focus on it, it's kind of tough for me to look at all the social aspect as I love to have a good time with my friends and alumni. But really, the game is important. At the end of the day, at the end of the fourth quarter, when there's zeros on the clock, you're going to have Alabama A&M alumni and Alabama State alumni saying who was victorious. And whoever was victorious, and which has been the Bulldogs, fortunately, for the past few years, usually has the livest parties in Birmingham. And so, you know, there's a lot of social aspects and components to it, but I have to say the game is what the outcome of the game is probably the most important thing that the alumni and fans really look at. And I've seen John Hudson, I've seen Ralph Williams, I've seen a lot of A&M Bulldogs, Dale Davis and others. If Alabama A&M wins, we're going to have the best party that you could ever see. And that's the fun part about the Magic City Classic.
Yeah, I just, he said if Alabama A&M wins.
Okay.
Do you want to make a prediction, Councilman?
Oh, I will let you go for us since you're the expert.
I predict Alabama A&M.
I predict Alabama A&M by 2 touchdowns, 28-14 over Alabama State.
Well, I think that we should put a dinner on that.
Yes.
And
Since you look like a hornet, we might as well.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the time. No, I'm trying to find a joke.
We prepare a first-class event that we invite the world to come and be a part of.
The power of Ah. Brought to you in part by Alabama Power. Always on.
Watching, waiting for something to amaze me. That's when it happened. Right in front of me.
You haven't seen it until you've seen it in Charter HD. Call now to add Charter HD for only $5 more a month and watch all your favorite programs in HD. Charter, let it all in.
On the phone is the Mayor, William Bell of Birmingham, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the economic impact of the Magic City Classic. Mr. Mayor, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, Gary. How you and your listening audience doing?
Well, we are looking so forward to getting involved with the Magic City Classic. This will be my 7th Classic, and I'm ready to have another ball like I've had all the other 6 years.
Well, listen, I want to publicly thank you for all the help that you've given to make the Classic the premier event in college, black college football. I mean, we got some great plans for this weekend, and people are already rolling in, pulling in the RVs to the stadium, checking in the hotel rooms. It's going to be a great event. Last year we did somewhere in the neighborhood of we had like a $24 million economic impact.
Wow.
Of the Magic City Classic, and that was up by $11 million from the previous year. And we expect to equal things this year. And we got all kinds of activities, concerts, Thanks to you, we got Bootsy Collins.
Well, he's going to do an interview after you, sir, and I'm going to have him send a shout out to you.
But do that. I got my Starship glasses ready to roll.
Well, sir, you've been involved in this for a long time, and if you had to tell the surrounding states and cities about the best feature of coming to Birmingham for the Classic, what would you tell them? Well,
there's no one thing, but it's the whole ambience of the event. You got tailgating, we got a blues concert that's taking place. We got an event that will be happening at the Museum of Art it's just going to be fantastic. Boots is going to be performing at halftime. We got other things just going on all around the city, and the whole city comes alive for this entire week. And thanks to you and others who have helped put these venues together, we just expect an exciting time. Just think in terms of not quite the essence, but something related to college football, and you'll get the flavor of what's going on.
Well, it can't get any better than what I saw over the last year. The concert with Frankie Beverly afterwards. And the thing that stands out in my mind, all 6 years, I've never seen an incident where there was any trouble. Everybody came and had a good time, the best food you're ever going to have in the world. How do you manage to do that, Mr. Mayor?
Well, the day after the game ends, we start planning for the next year. This isn't something that just happens overnight. From our park board to our police department to our chamber of commerce to all the various organizations, the schools, the different schools give us feedback as to what they enjoyed, what they didn't like, and we try to capitalize on that. And each year we make an investment in Legion Field to make it better and better for the fan experience that's out there. And so through that coordination, I think we prepare a first-class event that we invite the world to come and be a part of.
Well, I tell you what, I know you're busy, sir. I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to us today. So I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, don't forget your Starship glasses now.
Hey, I got them in my base. I got my space base too.
There you go.
All right, sir. Have a great day.
Take care, Gary.
All right.
Okay, you ready? Surprise. Yeah! Wait for me.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daddy?
Yeah?
The power of yeah.
Yeah.
Brought to you in part by Alabama Power. Always on.
Something to amaze me. That's when it happened. Right in front of me.
You haven't seen it until you've seen it in Charter HD. Call now to add Charter HD for only $5 more a month and watch all your favorite programs in HD. Charter, let it all in.
Alabama Cable Network Sports presents Football 2012, featuring high school teams from all over Alabama. We'll have live and tape delay college football games. Jacksonville State, North Alabama, West Alabama, and West Georgia will all be featured teams. Alabama Cable Network Sports on Charter Channel 80 is an exclusive presentation of Charter Communications and the Alabama Cable Network.
short pieces with it. I'm gonna hit you with one on the phone.
We're stretching out and you lose the run fast. We're stretching out, spreading foam all across the land. We're stretching out what you see and it's real. We're just stretching out and the real you're gonna feel. We like to party. You like to party. We like to party. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Raise some funk.
We like to party.
Party day.
We like to party. We like to party.
Wait a minute.
Get ready to roll. Get ready to roll.
Are y'all ready?
Get ready to roll. Get ready to roll. Get ready to roll. Get ready to roll.
Come on, say it.
Get ready to roll. Get ready to roll.
Wait a minute. We're gonna turn.
This mother out. Wow, wow.
We're gonna turn.
This mother out.
Everybody in the whole damn building right here.
Say, gonna turn. This mother out. Oh, Lord. Gonna turn. This mother out.
The phone, we have one of my good friends who is the organizer of the Magic City Classic. Gene, how are you today, my friend?
We're busy, Gary, but we're doing great. We're excited about the 72nd annual Magic City Classic. It's hard to believe this game, 72 years in the making.
72 years. I thought, I've been going to the game for 6 years, and I was telling the mayor earlier, I've never seen anything like it before. Gene, how do you put all this together?
A lot of hard work by a lot of great people, Gary. There's probably 200 volunteers. Then you've got the city of Birmingham that brings out its police force and its park and rec personnel. Then the Alabama Sports Foundation, of which I'm the executive director, we have probably 15 people that will be there on game day. It's the largest HBCU in the country, something that we're very proud of, and it's the largest line item in the budget for both Alabama State and A&M, which is so important with budgets shrinking for intercollegiate athletics. It's important that this game continue to provide very much needed revenue for these two schools.
Well, Gene, I'm glad you mentioned the revenue portion of it. The economic impact is a question that I asked the mayor earlier. What are your thoughts on the economic impact that it brings back to the city?
Well, it's at least $20 million, Gary. And the thing about the Classic, it's become such a opportunity for alumni and family reunions. And so what happens is fans from all over the country come into Birmingham and stay for multiple days. It's not like they're coming in on Friday afternoon and leaving on Saturday. They're coming in now, and they'll be here all week. We'll open up Legion Field to the tailgaters and the RVs on Wednesday morning. So it's going to be 4 or 5 days on average that people are in town for the Classic, and lots of people. We've got charter buses coming as far away as Detroit, Michigan, and that's just a great economic impact for our community.
Well, Gene, I tell you, how would you sell the Magic City Classic to the rest of the United States? I mean, what would you tell them to get them here?
It is a social event. It is Birmingham's version of the Kentucky Derby. It is something that transcends the football game. And the football game this year, Gary, you being a football guy can appreciate this, is going to be great. You've got two quality teams, one that's 5-1, one that's 4-2. So they're both highly competitive. I think A&M's in the top 5 in its respective 1AA poll. You've got Isaiah Cromwell, who was, of course, a freshman running back for Georgia last year. That's the running back for Alabama State, so he's going to make a lot of noise on Saturday. But it's really all the things that happen outside the stadium and leading up to the event on Saturday with pep rallies and the parade. The parade is the largest single gathering of people during a course of a year in Birmingham anywhere. It's impossible to accurately estimate, but it's clearly more than 100,000 people come out and line the route for the parade. And we got Bootsy Collins, the Hall of Fame rock and roller, who's going to be our ambassador this year, and he'll be bringing up the rear of the parade and saying hello to folks. But we've got 60 or 70 floats in the parade. It begins that morning at 9 o'clock. So it's just a week full of activities.
Well, Gene, I put me in the game, Coach. I'm ready to go because you got me motivated to get to this weekend. How long have you been organizing the event?
Well, it's very complex. Truth be known, the parking area at Legion Field is really not big enough to accommodate the number of cars that are going to come here. So the city of Birmingham has set up a very sophisticated shuttle system where folks can park downtown, 3 different locations, hop on a shuttle bus for free, and be dropped off at the stadium, and then after the game be taken back to their car. So if you're thinking about coming and you don't have a parking pass, that may be the way to go because so many people come to that one area, and that would help relieve congestion to take one of these shuttle buses. But lots of people working very, very hard. The city of Birmingham takes great pride in having the #1 HBCU in the country. For a while there, we were surpassed by the Bayou Classic in terms of attendance, but about 3 or 4 years ago, we overtook them, and we're going to keep that #1 status.
Well, I with the work that your staff puts in, how much time after the event is over do you give them to recover before you go on to your next event? Because, Gene, you guys do, good God, I don't know, you do more events than anybody that I know of in this city.
Well, I'll give them Sunday morning off, Gary, and then they got to be back Sunday afternoon. No, they'll take some time to decompress and relax. But the big thing is we'll do a lot of debriefing after this Classic. We'll actually have an online survey for fans to go and give us their thoughts and opinions, because that's how we become better, is to listen to people and try and make it better each and every year.
I'm looking so forward to this, Gene. What's next for the Bruno event team?
Well, that day we actually have something in Tuscaloosa. We handle all the game day operations for the University of Alabama football program, and everything outside the stadium is our responsibility. So on Saturday evening, I'll be leaving the Magic City and going down to Tuscaloosa as Alabama takes on the undefeated Mississippi State Bulldogs, and then we'll be helping with the Turkey Day Classic in Alabama State on Thanksgiving Day and the unveiling of their brand new stadium. And then the second week in December, we've got Super 6 football championships for the state of Alabama. That's going to be at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. And that same weekend at Regents Park, we'll have the NCAA Men's Final Four in Division I soccer. So that will be a very prestigious event televised nationally on ESPN.
Well, I try to attend as many of your events as humanly possible, and I'm looking forward to this weekend, Gene. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us today.
I'm glad to do it, Gary. I love to talk about the Classic any opportunity I can get. Frankly, it's my personal favorite because of the social aspect, the bonding aspect, families, friends. The overall record in this Classic is 35, 31, and 3. That's how close and competitive, with A&M having the edge over the years it's been. And that entertainment at halftime is always special. The stadium will be at its fullest right as the halftime begins to watch these two fantastic marching bands.
Well, I can hardly wait. And I want to have a Coke with you and Bootsy at the event this weekend.
Well, I appreciate your help on Bootsy. I need to find out how far back you and Bootsy go, and I need to figure out if Bootsy's got some stories on you, Gary.
Well, actually, he does. Let me tell you, when I first got my bonus check, when I signed with the Cincinnati Bengals, the first thing I bought was his album. And I'll tell you that story on the weekend. It's a long story. We don't have time to do it now, but we'll catch up on this weekend, Gene.
That sounds great, Gary. I appreciate you having me on.
And thanks for coming. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
you ready? Surprise. Yeah! Wait for me!
Come on.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Daddy?
Yeah?
The power of yeah.
Yeah.
Brought to you in part by Alabama Power. Always on.
Watching, waiting for something to amaze me. That's when it happened. Right in front of me.
You haven't seen it until you've seen it in Charter HD. Call now to add Charter HD for only $5 more a month and watch all your favorite programs in HD. Charter, let it all in.
Alabama Cable Network Sports presents Football 2012, featuring high school teams from all over Alabama. We'll have live and tape delay college football games. Jacksonville State, North Alabama, West Alabama, and West Georgia will all be featured teams. Alabama Cable Network Sports on Charter Channel 80 is an exclusive presentation of Charter Communications and the Alabama Cable Network.
We're here at Legion Field. In a matter of hours, the 71st annual Magic City Classic will take place. Alabama and A&M and Alabama State will battle to see who will win the Classic this year. Just like the mayor and Gene Hallman said, Birmingham, get ready to rumble. We're watching the construction of the concert area where Frankie Beverly will be performing for the mayor and the rest of the city. And we're sitting here, Jill, she's been so kind to sit and tell us what's going on. Jill, what are you guys doing over here today?
We're actually in production, creating the cabanas for the different corporations that are here to see the concert. And we're working for the city, you know, putting on the party.
And you're sweating so that the city knows that you're working really hard, right?
Yes, we are. We're doing the drapery and the lighting.
This is going to be great. I mean, I was here last year. Frankie Beverly performed. People just had a great time. So we're looking forward to the same thing this year.
We do. I retired in 2011, and my wife and I, we roll. That's how we do it. And we're a member of Space Age RV Club out of Huntsville, Alabama.
We're here today with Abraham, and he's drove in for the 71st annual Magic City Classic in the RV section. Abraham, welcome back to Birmingham.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, you tell me you've been coming to this thing every year, and you've been having a ball?
I've been having a great time. One of the reasons that I come here is all part of tradition.
What's your doggy's name?
His name is Taurus.
Taurus?